it. As far as thankless job though goes, we do actually kind of randomly get little thank yous from people that say, we love what you're doing, and you're like, so they're not completely thankless.
That's good.
But yeah, like there is a lot of miscommunication, I would say, within what we do from certain organizations, and people say things like, we're not getting paid the right way, or he's abusing the homeless people, getting them arrested, having their dogs taken, stuff like that. There's a lot of that kind of stuff going around, but none of that's even accurate. He does pay us decent wages. I was homeless up until from June 27th until May 1st. I got this job in March, and then by May 1st I had gotten a place, and now I just bought a truck from John.
Wow.
2 days ago, he sold me a truck he was going to donate to a veteran organization. I'm a veteran, so he donated it to me for very cheap, and I just got it registered and insured. So he's helped me, like.
So he donated a truck to you that he was otherwise going to donate
to a veteran service. So
Yeah.
he donated directly to a veteran instead.
Okay.
He just doesn't get some of the coupons and gift certificates they were going to give him. But yeah, and so he's really helped change my life. I was, destitute. First time in my life I ever had a panhandle, and I've been homeless before, but it was different. I had my truck one time, and another time I had a girlfriend that had a vehicle, and but this was a really tough one, and really humbled me down. And then when I was at my lowest point, there was John, and now everything's looking good, and this is a very great business model, which I've talked to John. I intend to not partner in this business, but move back down to San Diego and take this business model with me, and he's going to help me network down there to get this going down there.
Okay.
So I'm planning like another year. So I went from being destitute on the streets to eventually being able to be a larger part of my kids' lives. I got 2 teenage kids. My son's 15th birthday was on the 10th.
Well, congratulations.
So
yeah. And then if you don't mind, because there's the question about whether or not or how much you guys get paid, do you mind saying how much you take home?
Yeah, it's $16.50 an hour.
Okay.
But that's a very great wage to get started and on your feet. Everybody complains about minimum wage. It's not enough to survive on.
Right.
I hear that a lot from
Right.
a lot of young folks. And what they don't understand, minimum wage is just to get you back on your feet, either back on your feet or get you started in life. You're not supposed to stay there forever. You're supposed to advance yourself, not depend on the government to advance your minimum wage. You just need to find a better job after you get some skills from a minimum wage job.
I see. Trying to find a ladder to climb.
Yeah, and that's what I'm doing. I'm going to take this business model in my own business, doing the same thing.
So you're inspired by John.
Yeah, exactly. I love what he's doing. He hires from the homeless to help the homeless and clean up around the homeless, and he just does nothing but help everywhere. And I think that's a great, noble career to spend the rest of my life doing.
Right. So then, if you don't mind me asking, where were you located when you found John, or when John found you?
The shopping center at Valley West.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now I clean it up every day. Well, 3 days.
So
a
you
week.
run into people that you know?
Oh yeah, all the time on the job. I know like a lot of the people whose camps we clean up, and so yeah.
What about the thing about taking people's property? Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so anytime a camp is actually removed by the police are the ones who sort through everything and decide what is personal property and what is not, and what is trash. And if your clothes are wet and so they can't put that into storage because it'll cause mildew on everything else, so that's considered trash. If it's like anything of value, it's considered personal property, and the cops take that into their possession. So all we deal with is the trash left over.
So that's out of your hands.
That's out of our hands.
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha. And then on this property specifically, what are some of the challenges that you guys are facing as a crew just to tackle the job that you've been hired for by the property owner, to be clear?
Yeah. So some of the challenges would be like when we first were out here, there was a guy who was just encroaching in our work area, causing drama, not leaving, and being very passive-aggressive at first and then kind of outwardly aggressive.
Yeah.
And so he was the one and only person that was arrested from this property.
Oh.
And a lot of people say a lot of people have been arrested. So no, it was just one person who was. We gave him. It was like 3 days, almost a week, before we finally said, okay, you're not going to stop. And then we finally called in the police department.
Okay.
And then there's been protesters that have come out here, and one of them threatened me with a pickaxe.
Yikes.
And and then there's a guy down in the Soilscape building, which is one of the other properties we work in, who has barricaded himself in and won't allow us to continue our work there. So we have some issues like that here and there.
Right, and that's, correct me if I'm wrong, but on this property, people are sort of entrenched. Like, there's people who've been here for many years.
Like, if you look just right there, you'll see an RV.
Let me zoom,
motorhome.
Yeah.
And then, like back in that way, they got a foosball table out here.
Yeah.
They don't intend. They've been here for 15 years, and they're not intending to go anywhere. But we're trying to give them an opportunity to stay over on the side of the property that we've already cleaned. We're actually working on that right now, where we're flattening everything out and raking up all the trash and gathering all the syringes that are left over there, and making sure it's nice and clean. And then we'll set up some stake areas where people can move their tents from in here, where they're entrenched,
to go
over there, at least until some of these other organizations.
To like go over there?
Yeah, to where that fresh dirt is turned up in those pile of trash that we cleaned out of there. That's everything we just cleaned out of this area today by flattening it out.
Yeah.
And it's just all buried in there. So we're cleaning out the buried trash just so they'll have that area to utilize once we need them out of here. But we don't know where they're going to go from there. That's what John's actually trying to work out with some of the other people.
Yeah, in the city of Arcata.
Who get the government grants to provide these services.
Right, right. Arcata House Partnership.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
That's one of them.
Yeah, that's one of them. Okay. Anything you want to add?
No, yeah, I just would say that I'm very grateful to have this opportunity, and pretty much every negative thing you're hearing about this company and the man who runs it is pretty much a falsity.
Yeah, you guys seem very loyal.